Thank you so much for coming today, my good friends. We're doing the brain eye heart. So we're gonna start with the brain. Before I make any incision or remove the dura mater, I wanted to identify the cranial nerves that we can before we cut while it's still intact. Okay, my good friends. All right. So if I say what's this cranial nerve, what would you say? This one up here. That'll be the, and you are free to use the board as well. Olfactory, yeah, the olfactory, the nerve will be the olfactory number one, cranial nerve number one, but the structure itself, yeah, is the olfactory bulb. But in the exam, usually I ask for the cranial nerve, so you're going to say cranial and then I for one, cranial number one in Roman numeral notation. So what is this one? This would be the optic number two. Okay, optic number two, and then the stamp on the front here would be oculomotor number three. So that's I. So that you always use Roman numeral notation. Okay, and then what's this big stamp on the back here? Would be the trigeminal number five. So we call it trigeminal number five. So it's a V, right? So trigeminal space V, so that will be it. This one will be olfactory space I for one, cranial nerve number one, and then this will be, so use Roman numeral notation, okay? So this is optic II space II, that's how we type it into my heritage, right? But it's for two, Roman numeral notation two, and then oculomotor three, you know, I, and then V for five, okay, trigeminal number five, cranial nerve number five, so trigeminal space V, okay, and then like I told you, most of the time you just see the rootlets. Do you see the rootlets? Okay, my good friends, bing, 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 and you see just before it tapers into the spinal cord, right? And then I'll be like, what's that cranial nerve? And what did you guys say? Hypoglossal number 12. That will be XII. You understand, my good friends? So that's how you do it. Okay, only Roman numeral notation. So you can bet that this will be in there because that's all I got. Okay, my good friends? Okay, so this is the medulla, this is the pons right there, and then you see the pituitary. He would have been here, but it's obviously got nicked because you know what I'm saying. It's like hanging at it, and then obviously it doesn't come off. So the thing I was talking about earlier on, before I switch the video off, but anyway, we can also do the lobes because we don't have to remove the dura mater for us to see that. So let's do that. Okay, what is this? Frontal lobe, and what is this? Parietal lobe. Oh my god. What about this? Temporal lobe. What about this? Occipital lobe. Okay. These are the cranial dural folds or cranial dural septa that I was talking about. The hardest of which is this, the tentorium cerebelli, which is cradling the almost like a bra actually, the cerebral hemispheres and separating from the cerebellar hemispheres. So it's really like this hard. So if you don't remove this, you have all sorts of problems. You cannot cut through the longitudinal section. And then there's the falx cerebri, which is the cranial dural folds that goes along the longitudinal fissure, which we will see once we remove the dura mater. Okay, but I wanted to do the lobes because you could see that, and you could even see this part here in the middle. It's covered by the dura mater, but it's starts with the V, part of the vermis. You see what I'm saying? Vermin is like a grubby worm. It looks like a worm when you're connecting the left to the right cerebellar hemisphere from cerebellum. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this incision here like this, okay, and then like that. So with that, I will stop the video.